Hi, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about the inside arm coil with the rubber band. Don't mind me, I'm looking at my notes for a second. I'm a trainer, not a clown. I mean, not an actor. So I take notes down, I look at this shit. I don't have time to memorize it. So talking about the inside arm coil. So for a lot of people, no matter what they try, it just seems almost impossible for a lot of people to activate their glutes. And you probably are noticing by now that a lot of videos I go over is about glute activation, lat activation, working through the lateral subsystem, and just reactivating certain parts of your body again. One, to help manage the amount of pain you have in your life, but also because a lot of these exercises that we do, like I was using the example of, if I asked you, if I was going to give you $1 million and say, listen, I want you to tell me the 3 best exercises for building up the back of your legs, I think everybody knows to say deadlift, squats, and lunges, but how many people actually feel those exercises in those spots? You'd be surprised, not a lot of people. And not only just clients and members, a lot of trainers that I know have the same problem also. And for a long time, even myself as a trainer, I've been doing this for 20 years, I couldn't understand why that no matter what I tried, I couldn't get my clients to feel these exercises in the right spots. So one of the things I learned over the years, based on studying how the body moves and how everything's connected, is something called the lateral subsystem. And what it is a series of muscles that are in your body that kind of help stabilize the outer portions of the outer limbs that help activate the larger muscles of your body and help you stabilize everything. And what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you how to activate your glute muscles by using the lats, all right? So what we're going to use is a method called coiling, which is developed by David Weck of the WeckMethod, all right? And what coiling does is we use a concept called limit force elastics, where basically we're going to use rubber bands to take a particular muscle right to its maximum force engagement, and we're going to hold it for periods of time to reactivate it, right? Now, one of the principles that we're going to go over with coiling is that if you're having trouble activating a muscle, right? Like for me, good example, my left glute never fires. The whole left side of my body is shot. If I'm having trouble activating my left glute, I'm going to use one of the neighboring muscles to help reactivate that muscle and get it back going again. So typically when I need to do a leg exercise and I'm having trouble firing my glute, I squeeze my lat muscles, and by squeezing my lat, the lat helps you activate the glute, and then by doing that, I'm able to get my glute firing and I feel the exercise in the right spot. Well, Jay, I don't feel my lats either. That's why we got this video. This exercise is going to reteach you how to engage your lats and hold them for periods of time so that you can utilize it to help reopen the glutes again, right? So first, going to start with the rubber band. You always want to check your rubber bands, make sure they're going to snap on you. That would be a bad day, right? And you also want to make sure you're on a secure ankle point. Now, you can hook them up to an overhead ankle point like I have here at the TRX strap. You can use one of the machines at the gym. You can use an overhead beam at your house. You want to make sure whatever you hook the band onto, it's not going to pull something off the ceiling that's going to hit you in the head, and you make sure it's not going to fall off and snap and hit you in the face, right? So to start with this one, I'm going to take the rubber band, I'm going to loop it around the back of my arm, right? It's about 2 inches past the elbow, and I'm going to grab it with an open grip because I don't want to pull down on it with my hand. I want to secure it, but I want to pull with the tricep and the lat, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away from the rubber band, creating tension, right? I'm going to have my arm tight to my body. I'm going to squeeze the 9th rib down to the hip. And here's the thing, I'm not going to lean forward and squeeze because that's going to activate my hip flexor. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to sit nice and tall, Disney princess tall, right? And squeeze the lat. And once I have that position, I'm going to keep that tension, right? I'm going to walk out as far as I can until I can't go any farther. And I'm going to hold that tension in my lat, my obliques, and my shoulder blades for 20 to 30 seconds. Now, look at my leg right here. Look what's going on. I'm on the outside rail of my foot. I'm not pushing to the big toe. I'm pushing to the outside too, right? Look at my knee. My knee is bowing outwards. We're loading the bow. You hear me talk about that a lot. I'm on the outside bones of my foot, like I mentioned already. And look at my inside ankle bone. My inside ankle bone is high. It's not collapsed down. And I'm going to hold this position. And as I arch back, I like to bring this arm up also. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And by squeezing both of those shoulder blades, I'm going to get those lat muscles firing nice and tight. It's going to help me stabilize my trunk. And as I squat down and push against that knee, I'll feel that glute engage. You hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then you come out of it. And what's happening is by holding the rubber band, I take it to the maximum force limit that it can hold, and I hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. It's a crazy burn. From the other side, keep in mind this is my garbage side, right? Same thing, I make sure I'm not going to die. Safety checks first, right? Rubber bands around the back of the tricep. From here, I'm gonna hold the arm in tight, because if I can't hold it in, I'm not getting the exercise, right? So keeping the arm tight to the body. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll put something under somebody's arm and tell them, hey, hold that down the whole time. If they drop it, they lost tension, right? And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk out. You'll notice I'm not gonna get as far as I can on this side, right? I'm gonna hold that tension. Now you can see on my left side is a lot more garbage, but I still got the knee driven out. I'm on the outside rail of my foot. Naturally, I want to slip down. You see how I did that? I got to really concentrate on keeping that inside ankle bone high. I squeeze my shoulder blades. Look at my right foot. Look at my right heel. I turn that right heel out, and it helps twist me into the boat, and I'm able to stay there. I hold it. My lat's on fire, and then when I can't hold it anymore, I come out of it. Phenomenal exercise. And typically, like I said, I'll hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. I like doing that in between sets of my heavy pressing exercises. Chest presses, dumbbell overhead presses, standing overhead strict presses, because you're gonna have a tendency to round forward. That exercise is gonna help engage the shoulder blades and the lats, right? I got the band pulled down, and then I squeeze the shoulder blades with the back arm to keep tight, which will bring me back into balance. So you notice you won't get a lot of the chest tightness and the shoulder tightness, but also because I'm going through the lat and the shoulder blades, now when I coil down and drive that knee out, all that tension sits inside that glute, so I get that glute muscle firing, but it also takes pressure off my hip flexor, because if my knee's not bowing out, my knee is bowing in. And if my knee is bowing in, that's all hip flexor and psoas, and that's where a lot of your back problems, knee problems, shoulder problems, and tearing injuries occur from. So that was the inside arm coil. I'm gonna show you a couple more variations of the coil that work also. They're all great exercises. My recommendation, we'll do more videos later on when we go more in depth to each one, but my best recommendation right now is, out of the different variations I show you, find one that resonates the best with you and try to work that into your routine. 20 to 30 second holds, 2 to 3 times a week. Every time you do it, like 3 or 4 sets. And you'll start noticing that you're gonna stand a little taller, you get a little bit less shoulder pain. Glutes gonna fire a little more. You're not gonna get as much lower back pain. And you're gonna feel a ton of activation inside of here. And for everybody looking to get ready for bathing suit season, you're gonna see these muscles start developing and toning up more, which is a nice little side benefit too. So let's take a look at some of those other exercises. This is an outside arm coil. This is a forward-facing coil. I'm gonna be facing, instead of standing sideways to it, I'm gonna stand facing head on. Cool. So those are just a couple different variations of the different coil exercises you can do. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Now, those are not an all-inclusive list. Those are just like a beginner's checklist. Your creativity with these exercises is really your own limitation, all right? You could do a lot with them. And the whole idea just like you would do a plank for your abs, we're doing isometric holds, pretty much a plank, for the different muscles along the sublateral subsystem that are responsible for force generation and stabilizing your body to absorb, redirect, and create force, right? The lats, the obliques, the glutes, parts of the outer calves, stuff like that. We're engaging those muscles so we can wake them back up again. So when we do our main lifts, squats, deadlifts, lunges, everything else, We're able to stabilize everything better. We're able to move and generate force in the places we're supposed to and take force away from the places we're not going to. You'll get better results from your exercises. You're going to see more results faster with less injuries and less downtime, and you're going to enjoy them a lot more too. So like always, hopefully those exercises helped you out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, points of interest, funny jokes, anything, drop me a DM, reach out to me some way, shape, or form. And if you're not doing so already, be sure to follow us on social media. We're going to be putting little tips like these up every week, so this way you can plug in, get some more tips, strategies, and methods to add into your own routines. So this way you can keep your results going and give yourself new stuff to keep yourself challenged. Guys, thank you again for watching these videos. Hope you enjoyed them. See you in the next one.